Welcome. If you're the kind of person who feels the weight of every word, who knows what it's like to be broken, betrayed, and still find the strength to rise, you're in the right place. Here the stories aren't just told. They're felt. They're not fiction. They're fragments of truth, whispered through pain, resilience, and the quiet power of letting go. Subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss a moment that might feel a little too familiar. These aren't just stories. They're reminders, reflections, sometimes even warnings. Let's begin. When I first met Ethan, he loved me for exactly who I was. No filters, no glamour. Just me. Messy ponytail, hand-me-down jeans, drugstore perfume. And still, he looked at me like I was the most captivating woman in the world. He'd tuck a strand of hair behind my ear and whisper, "You have no idea how beautiful you are, do you?" Back then I didn't believe him. Because I didn't believe in myself. But over time something shifted. I started investing in how I looked. Better wardrobe. A gym membership. Some cosmetic work here and there. Nothing drastic, just enough to draw new eyes. And suddenly, they noticed. Men who once walked past me now stopped mid-sentence. Compliments became constant. I felt empowered, radiant, desired. And then came the thought I now regret more than anything. Maybe I've outgrown Ethan. Then I met Julian. Polish. Bitch. The kind of man who seemed like he owned every room he walked into. He gave me the kind of attention that once only existed in movies. Flirty texts. Lavish compliments. That magnetic confidence Ethan never had. And in my self-absorbed haze, I mistook Ethan's quiet devotion for mediocrity. I told myself Julian was the life I deserved. I walked away. No shouting match. No breakdown. I just packed a bag and said, "I need more than this." Ethan didn't cry. He didn't beg. He just stood there, hands in his pockets, and said, "You're free to go." At the time I took that as weakness. Only now do I understand it was strength. More strength than I ever gave him credit for. Julian wasn't the man I imagined. The charm that once made me blush turned cold and calculated. Flirtation turned into criticism. Freedom became control. He didn't love me, he loved owning me. The pedestal he placed me on crumbled the moment I stepped off script. And when I realized it, it was too late. The text stopped. The compliments faded. And slowly, I began to remember Ethan. His warmth. His steady patience. The way he'd listen without interrupting. Late at night, I'd scroll through old pictures. His crooked grin, his sleepy eyes, the way he'd wrap me in a blanket when I fell asleep on the couch. I sent him a message. "I miss you." No reply. Called straight to voicemail. I checked his social media, blocked. Freeware. It was like I'd been erased. Still, I wasn't ready to accept it. I drove past his old place one evening, hoping for a glimpse. But his car was gone. A neighbor mentioned he'd moved out months ago. No forwarding address. No trail to follow. So I reached out to a mutual friend, Natalie. She laughed softly. Not mockingly, but as if surprised I still expected him to be waiting. "Ethan. He's doing amazing, Clara. He started a business. He travels all the time now. Honestly. He's thriving. But no, he doesn't want to talk to you." She wasn't being cruel. She was just telling the truth. And that's when it hit me, really hit me. The man I thought I could replace had rebuilt himself into someone even stronger. Without me. I had gambled everything for a fantasy. I thought I was trading up. But what I really did was walk away from the only man who had ever truly seen me. Now, I sit alone in a high-rise apartment with designer furniture and no warmth. Julian is long gone. So are the compliments. All I'm left with is the silence. And that silence, it says more than any goodbye ever could. Ethan never yelled. Never slammed a door. His silence was his closure. It was his way of saying, "You chose this." Now, every unanswered message, every blocked attempt, echoes with one cruel truth. Not everyone stays in the wings waiting to be your second chance. Sometimes, when you walk away from something real, you don't get to go back. And I learned that far too late. Life has a way of peeling back the layers, revealing who people truly are, often when we least expect it. And sometimes, it's the quietest goodbyes that echo the loudest truths. If this story struck a chord, drop a comment below. Your voice isn't just welcome, it belongs here. And if you've weathered your own storm and you're still standing, that's not just survival. That's strength. That's your victory. Subscribe for more stories that speak to the scars and the strength it takes to carry them. There's more on the way.